What's up, everybody? It's Anthony Wootton from the Transatlantic Sports Show. Thank you very much for choosing to watch us here on YouTube. So much content out there, so we are very, very grateful for your time. Do us a favor whilst you're here and hit subscribe and hit that like button as well. It'll help other people come and find us. We're only 3.5 weeks in since launching this YouTube channel, and the viewing figures are a lot higher than we had anticipated, so we are very, very grateful for your time. And if you can hit subscribe, then you're not going to miss any of the great content that is coming your way. Great content such as today's guest. I'm delighted to share with you the new head of the NFL Academy here in the UK. What a guy, Lamonte Winston. What a history he has. He's been in player personnel with the Las Vegas Raiders, the Kansas City Chiefs. He's been a coach at college football with Nevada. A whole host of experience and charisma that is going to rub off on the young guys and the academy prospects. And we discussed the future. I mean, what a time to be a young American football player here in the UK. The facilities that they've got at Loughborough, you're going to learn about it all. Just wanted to say before we get into the interview with Lamonte that if you want to follow us on social media, we are at TASS_UK. You can see the details below. And I am Anthony Wootton at Twitter at ARWootton. Don't need to spell it out for you. It's right there below. But for now, we're going to get straight to it. Lamonte Winston, NFL Academy. Exciting times here in the UK for American football. So let's get to it. Lamonte Winston, welcome to the UK. How are you finding things? How long have you been over now?
This is this is actually the start of week 2, full week of week 2, but it seems like week 8. So and I've been drinking from a fire hose for the last week. So, but it's good. It's been exciting. It's a lot to learn, a lot of fantastic people, our student athletes. I'm getting a chance to know them, a respectful group. And the folks around Loughborough University and the college been fantastic. Joe Meyer and Nick Jennings, Alex Owen, Joe Simpson. Everybody's been just so supportive of the academy, and that's what's exciting.
It is, and what a setup as well. The world-renowned Loughborough University and the sports academy there. It's really an epicenter of sport and sports science here in the UK, but also recognized, as I said, around the world.
Yeah, that was an exciting draw for me that made this opportunity really something special. I mean, you get a chance to get young men from all over the globe, mind you, at between that 16 and 19 age, and get them immersed in college early. But then the football part of it, you have time. It is football specific only, right? And so they're away from home. There's no family. They're just kind of riveted on football. So you can get a lot done. And I think that's what's really impressive. And then on top of that, can you imagine these young men at 16 training at Power Base? They're at the university, like with the Olympians. I mean, it's unbelievable. So that makes this opportunity even that much more special.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Obviously you've come from the States, you've coached at college, and you've worked with a couple of NFL franchises. We'll get to those in just a moment. But have you known a setup quite like this? For young aspiring football stars here in the UK and around the world, who aren't used to the high school and college setup that there is in the States. But this NFL Academy seems like unprecedented almost.
Yeah, this is different. In the U.S., IMG Academies there in Bradenton, Florida, and they have high level football, but they have 22 sports. Okay, it's almost like a miniature Loughborough University. However, the academy, there's none like it. And to be able to have that be here in the UK, that when people here are just sports centric, right, at the highest levels, to be able to have that here, and us being an entry point for all these athletes that we're going to get from all over the globe, just makes it unique. And again, to train, you get time. Anthony. You get time to work with them. And I think, some of these guys, we have a guy, Emmanuel Koya, they told me, Lamont, he put on a helmet for the first time 6 months ago. Well, he just got back from a recruiting trip to USC.
Wow.
To University of Tennessee.
Wow.
Are you kidding me? So there's a number. We have a few guys like that on our roster that are going to be alumni here pretty short. So yeah, it's a unique setup for sure.
Yeah, it's a good area as well. It's the rugby heartland here in England. In the background, I've got a trophy there because I grew up in Winnipeg. We won the Pop Warner Championship back in 1988. What could have been Lamont, but we moved over here. And then I transitioned from American football to rugby, but where you are at Loughborough, it's as I said, it's in the rugby heartland of England. You've got these, talented rugby players who have potential to become American football stars. And I know that when some of the NFL teams were over here for the London games in 2015, which was the same year that England was hosting the Rugby World Cup, there were some coaches who went to watch some of the training and some of the games just to see how, Pete Carroll was one of them, to see how rugby players tackle, the art of tackling, and he took some of that on board. So, you've got untapped potential on your doorstep there.
Well, it's interesting you say that, Anthony, because that's kind of been on my radar. It's gotten on my radar, just kind of asking around. So, rugby, is, there's two things that they do in rugby that are applicable to our game. You don't have to teach them how to run, and you don't have to teach them how to run into people, because they have curves. They know how to do that. So we plan on we'd love to get have quote crossover athletes. We want them to keep playing rugby, but we want them to try our game because there's opportunities for them to grow in this game. They're unique athletes, and so we want to create a pathway for them. We want to enrich our communities with opportunities, and so if that's a signature sport in that Leicestershire area, we want to make sure that we are on their radars. We want them to visit our campus. We want to take them around. We want them to see our setup. So that's part of recruiting, and we're going to up our game in that. Anthony, we are committed to building an elite environment for our football program. And on all fronts. And that's to really include the academic part of it, because again, to transition over to the US academic, you have to be able to compete academically. Okay. And so we want to make sure that we pay attention to that. And the third piece, and maybe the overarching most important piece, we want to build character. We want to build good character. We want to develop leaders. And so that's an emphasis from me in terms of what I like it to see, because that's been my experience in training and in developing for the NFL, my 24 years in National Football League with the Raiders and the Kansas City Chiefs.
That's amazing. And it's exciting times. It really is, genuinely saying that. Somebody who's been covering the NFL here in the UK for the past decade plus, and to see this academy, first of all, I guess, develop and open back in 2019 to, looking at 8 players now who have been signed to colleges over in the States. Yeah. We had Russell Wilson over at Loughborough last year. A whole group of players came over, to help coach and inspire those youngsters. It really is an exciting time. I wish I had it, when I moved over from Winnipeg in the early 90s, as a Pop Warner champion. If I'd have had that, I'd be banging on the door, to try and get in there with the NFL Academy. With all your years with the Chiefs and the Raiders and your college coaching career in Nevada, looking back, and obviously hindsight is a wonderful thing, do you think now that there was so much untapped potential for NFL teams, that untapped potential being stars, athletes worldwide?
I didn't really think about it until really when I got in the NFL, and I came in the NFL as a scout. When I left coaching, I came in the NFL as a talent scout. And so, you would get trickles of guys, that were from different countries. The Chiefs had Christian Okoye.
Yeah.
Okay. And I had, when I was at SF State coaching early in my career, we actually played against him when he was at Azusa Pacific. So, but you got to taste it. But those were like one-offs. Morton Anderson, great kicker. I think he was Swedish, I believe.
Yeah.
And so you get trickles. But what it did though, you started seeing where, these guys were athletic. And I think that the common denominator is if you're athletic, you have a chance. Okay. And so fast forward, as I went on through the Chiefs and started, evaluating talent, you start seeing that, there's athletes all over the world that are gifted, right? And they just need an opportunity. And so, to this level, I didn't see this, but it's here on us right now, and it's the right time, and the commitments are there from the right people, the right stakeholders. I mean, from our partners at Nike and Wilson and New Era, just to name a few that support the academy, is phenomenal. And so we have our own brand at the academy, NFL Academy, and I think that is probably unique in itself.
That's awesome. You were director of player engagement at the Raiders up until as recently as 2019, and before then, executive director of player development at the Chiefs. So, what attracted you to the NFL Academy? Why up sticks and come to the UK?
Those just what you just said. So my work in player engagement or player development, then player engagement was just that. It's an opportunity to build and mold and shape and work with young men. And there's something, Anthony, that's really unique, and I take a lot of pride in it, where young people trust us as coaches to help them manage their dreams. And so to be able to do that here in a different backyard, so to speak, in the UK was phenomenal, because I got a chance to now touch young men and around the world, from around the world. And I think me coming in with the staff that's already in place and the people that are involved, the talent that they have, and the commitment that they have, phenomenal. So it was easy for me. And besides, my wife wanted to come over here. So
nice.
That was, he likes Regent Street, right? So it was pretty easy. I had no choice. But no, it's given the opportunity. The National Football League has provided so much for my life, my family, in itself, to be able to get back with the team. And I worked with the team in New York, and now I'm with the team here in the UK, another part of the family. And that's just a phenomenal feeling, because you have overall support.
I'll tell you what, Lamont, I thought all the pomp and ceremony right now is for the coronation, but it's for your arrival, clearly.
I don't think so. Matter of fact, the cab driver this morning was like, they started closing streets already. And he said, and I'm loving the lingo. He said, it makes us bloody mad. It's just all. I'm taking in every cab ride. I'm taking in the architecture, the drive, the ride on the train. I'm done being lost, but
Right.
another thing. But it's just been a fantastic. And so if I'm having this experience, I want other young men to see this opportunity beyond just the playing field in the classroom, because there's a pathway that we all have to take, and it's called our lives and our careers. And I want to make sure that they can look back on this experience and say, you know what? They gave me a chance to have a better life and a better career, right? As the air leaves out of all of our footballs at some point, right? And so that's important to me. And that's why, again, it was very easy for me to say yes.
I love it. Absolutely brilliant. And you're absolutely right. With your time at the Raiders, you must have come over with the team during their NFL London games. They played quite a few games. So you must have seen the fan engagement and also the football intelligence of the fans and the knowledge grow with each visit with the Raiders that you came over. Because, the first trip was what, 2014, maybe even before then? And then they've been back. They've been back since. Have you seen that with the fans?
Yeah, I came over actually in Coach Allen's first year, and we came And I was wild then. I think all of our players were wild. We were like, man, like this is unique. Now we had Jack Crawford, and and so that was unique. In my second go around, we had Menelik Watson,
Yes.
Manchester. But we came over and we just saw the pageantry, the jerseys, the fan engagement. I mean, it was our guys. We were all taking pictures, and we were all like, we were fans of it. And so you see game day and the raucous crowd, which is, I guess, a soccer-based crowd. They know how to turn it up, right? So it was absolutely phenomenal. And I came over again, and we played. I did some work with Chelsea. Me and my cohort from the Seahawks, Mo Kelly, and that was a great experience. Kind of gave us a cleaner view, but this place has been ready for this a long time.
Absolutely, man. I'll tell you what, if you get the chance to go over to Germany later this year and you get to take some of those young men from the academy. I was in Munich in November last year. My word, an atmosphere I've never known anything like it. What an experience that was. But it just shows, the growth of the game. And I said that, there's 8 players from the NFL Academy who are now involved with colleges over in the States, which shows the early success of the Academy. And it's only going to grow more with you at the helm, Lamont. And, it's draft week at time of recording. Who knows how long it's going to be. It's probably going to come around sooner than we think. We're going to be so excited for, hopefully, first round draft night. And there's a British, Irish, European, African player waiting on the board, ready to be picked.
It'll happen, Anthony. And I think, this is not a me making this happen. This is a big we, a big we. And I come from that type of a background, and we can make that happen. For me by myself, I can't do that. I can do part of it. But that big we, one day we will see somebody's name called in the first round. And one day we'll see somebody's name called in the first pick. And I love the dream big, and I don't want these young men to be afraid to do that. But if we dream, though, we have to dream with our eyes open. We have to see what we have to do in order to get there, and we'll definitely do our part here at the Academy.
You got me chills, Lamont. Ready to run through walls for you, man.
I appreciate it. I want you to come to our practice. I want our young men to be. I want them to be around other professionals that love the game. That's how they really grow, and that's how they become really committed to it. Because they have to have older people, more senior people that says, that opportunity you have is special, right? And so, like I said, I'm a big we. And so we want these young men to be, because they're going to be ambassadors, wherever they go and come back home, they're going to be ambassadors for their families, their countries, their cities. And so we want to make sure that we add value to that as we move forward.
Well, be an honor, Lamont, to go there and do that on your behalf. Absolutely. Now, look, before you go, it's not often that we have somebody of your caliber here on the Transatlantic Sports Show. Yeah, we've spoken to multiple big names, and I even spoke to, and there was a certain Tom Brady back in November in Munich.
My name eclipses Tom Brady, but that's okay.
Yeah, baby.
You'll understand.
I'm sure he's going to be watching. No doubt he's subscribed to our YouTube channel, the Transatlantic Sports Show, TASS_UK. He's watched this. He's like, no, that's fine. I mean, absolutely. I get it.
I think it'll be okay.
So, Tom, all good, man. But big news this week, the big trade that finally went down. Aaron Rodgers traded from the Packers to the Jets. Got to get your thoughts on that trade.
You mean that big secret that's been kind of out there this whole
Where
time?
did it come from?
Like, I've been around a lot of tremendous veterans that been on Tom's level and Aaron's level, and it's great. He's playing the game because he loves to play the game, and that's what it's a reminder for all NFL players, college players, high school players, Pop Warner. Keep focused on playing the game because you love the game, right? And so I think it's great for Aaron. I think it's fantastic for the city of New York. I think it's great for pro football. I think that it underscores what my first meeting with our players, and I told them, hey, there's three things you got to do that we're going to do. You have to expect change, right? You have to embrace change. Then you have the choice to be able to thrive through change, right? And that's where Aaron is. It's big change, jet change. You'll see him thrive, and you'll see that organization thrive, and he'll build those men around him. So I think it's fantastic.
Fantastic for the AFC as well. I've never known a conference so stacked at quarterback, but there we go. What an exciting year ahead, and what exciting times ahead at the NFL Academy. Lamonte Winston, thank you so much. What a pleasure chatting to you, and no doubt we'll get you on again at some point. And yeah, I look forward to that conversation.
I appreciate it, Anthony. And again, it's a pleasure. Thank your listeners for tolerating me right now. They're not pushing the high button. I appreciate that. Right. So, and again, that invitation is extended to you to come down and visit us, or come up to visit us and experience our young men. I think that would be quite an experience for you.
We'll make that happen. Thank you very much, Lamonte.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day.